They called it. That is football. They don't do that in basketball. She didn't make a play on the ball. She ran into it. She sideswiped.
After Diamond DeShields fouled Caitlin Clark, it wasn't just any foul. It was a blatant flagrant. Did you catch what happened next?
In the second half, as we look at Diamond DeShields and Caitlin Clark.
But what happened next stunned everyone. Shannon Sharpe stepped in, and he's not holding back. He's calling out the double standards in basketball. You won't believe what he had to say about the future of women's sports.
When did it become a thing not to give people credit when it's due?
Well,
Has that always been a thing?
Hold on, it's always been a thing. Now, it depends on who it is. It depends on who the hype is. Depending on who the hype is, they're going to give them their credit.
Yeah.
So you got to understand how it works. Now, you got to think like some of the young folk. If they don't like you, there's nothing that the media or anyone else can say that can change that narrative.
No
matter how well that individual is doing. And hell, some people are turning to goddamn Ray Charles, knowing how well this young lady is playing and how good and gifted she is. They can't see past whatever it is, whatever reason they might have that they don't like the individual.
The game was electric until a jaw-dropping moment. DeShields fouled Clark with a hit so brutal it left everyone stunned. The crowd erupted, social media went wild, and suddenly, this wasn't just a single play. It was a commentary on the treatment of women in sports. You'd expect Shannon Sharpe to rip into DeShields, but his reaction is far from what you'd anticipate. He's not just addressing the foul, he's making bold statements about the future of women's basketball. Trust me, his perspective will shift how you view the game.
The fact of the matter is, what was on the cover was just the third time. There were two other times before that, we call them cheap shots, but just playing the game of basketball in an aggressive manner, for the lack of better terms. I'm gonna say it that way. There were two other times as well.
Shannon Sharpe's take on this goes far beyond the foul itself. He's not merely commenting on a flagrant foul. He's unraveling a deep-seated system of double standards in basketball. His insights on how this incident ties into the future of women's sports are nothing short of revolutionary.
This is not hype. It's okay. She can.
You might expect Sharpe to simply lambaste DeShields for that brutal foul on Clark, but his take is far more complex. Sharpe acknowledges that the play was out of line. That's football, not basketball.
Diamond DeShields received racist threats after Caitlin Clark flagrant foul. Many are attributing this to Chicago's Sun-Times cover. Foul ball. Two things can be true, Ocho.
Yeah.
You can say the play against Caitlin Clark, it wasn't okay. It was a flagrant foul. Yeah. They called it. That is football. They don't do that in basketball. She didn't make a play on the ball.
His perspective dives deeper into a much larger issue within the sports world. After the foul, DeShields faced intense backlash, including racist threats. Sharpe's commentary isn't just about the incident. It's about confronting the darker, systemic problems lurking beneath the surface.
Just because it was a flagrant foul, it doesn't in turn give you the right to send racists and threats.
You know how people are, huh? You know how people are.
No, yeah, it's not right there. Yeah, I know. Yes, of course.
You know how it is. I'm not even gonna get into that debate. I love to stay away from politics, race, and religion, but they'll show you your true colors now. Under the right circumstance, they will show their true colors.
The threats that she received in her DM or what was on her page, I can just imagine. I think we could all imagine what was said.
Most definitely, especially when you upset the other side. They don't care.
And Sharpe isn't holding back. He's calling out these so-called fans, revealing how they expose their true colors when given the chance. It's as if he's pulling back the curtain on the ugly side of sports fandom that rarely gets discussed.
What you feel for them, that ain't what I feel. I treat things on an individual basis. I've had white people that's been great to me. I don't know if they called it a flagrant foul, but if they did, any blow upside the head, above the neck or shoulder area, whether you tried to make a play on the ball or not, is deemed flagrant. Yeah. This was an easy call. She didn't make a play on the ball. She just sideswiped.
But wait, there's more. Sharpe isn't just defending DeShields from these threats. He's also championing Caitlin Clark's talent.
She can play. It's okay. I don't know Ocho, when did it become a thing not to give people credit when it's due?
Well,
Has that always been a thing?
Hold on, now. It's always been a thing. Now, it depends on who it is. It depends on who the hype is. Depending on who the hype is, they're going to give them their credit.
Yeah.
So you got to understand how it works. Now, you got to think like some of the young folk. If they don't like you, there's nothing that the media or anyone else can say that can change that narrative.
No.
No matter how well that individual is doing.
You know how some people dismiss Clark as just hype. Sharpe is shutting that down fast. He's comparing her to basketball legends, making it clear that she's the real deal. With 28 points and 12 assists, Clark isn't just hype. She's a bona fide hooper. That's high praise from Shannon Sharpe.
Getting 10, 15, $20 million. LeBron James, lifetime contract. Steph Curry, lifetime contract. Kevin Durant, lifetime contract. Kobe Bryant, they still making Kobe's.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Yes, of course.
You know how it is. I'm not even gonna get into that debate. I love to stay away from politics, race, and religion, but they'll show you your true colors now. And under the right circumstance, they will show their true color.
Here's where Sharpe's take gets truly eye-opening. He's highlighting a shocking double standard in how female athletes are treated compared to their male counterparts. It's as if women in sports are scrutinized under a harsher microscope, and Sharpe isn't shy about calling out this disparity.
Had another monster game. She had 28 points, 12 assists, and a 193 win over the Dallas Wings today that pushed the Indiana Fever over 500 for the first time in 5 years.
Think about it. When was the last time a men's basketball game sparked such a media frenzy over a hard foul? Sharpe is making us question why women's sports face such intense scrutiny and why every move seems to come with higher stakes. Now, shifting from controversy to pure skill, Caitlin Clark has stunned the league, not due to any foul play. Want to see what peak performance looks like in women's basketball? Clark's latest game might just redefine your expectations.
The Fever improved to 17-16 with a victory and had gone 189 straight games without a winning record, a WNBA record. Indiana earned a win despite a record-tying 9 3-pointers by Enrique Ogunbowale.
Yeah.
Three-pointer made. Every field goal made has been three, and Clark!
Remember when people called Caitlin Clark overhyped? Well, she's not just meeting the hype, she's shattering it. In her latest game against the Dallas Wings, Clark delivered a jaw-dropping performance with 28 points and 12 assists. That's not just impressive. That's superstar level.
Ooh, she can shoot it. Having watched her twice, she can shoot. That lefty, she'd be letting that thing go. Had 36 points, including a 3 that gave the Fever a 4-point lead with under 2 minutes to go. Clark and Mitchell hit 5 threes apiece, combining to go 10 of 18. The Fever shot 50% from long range and 53% overall.
Clark comes down. There's one of those long passes. Oh, little French pastry!
But here's where it gets truly remarkable. Clark didn't just have an outstanding game. She spearheaded the Indiana Fever to a historic victory. For the first time in 5 years, the Fever has a winning record, breaking a WNBA streak of 89 consecutive losses. And who's at the heart of this turnaround? You guessed it, Caitlin Clark.
And we'll come the other way, the 2-point advantage. Clark on Sheldon. Clark has been, shall we say, spectacular this year.
You might think one great game doesn't change everything, but that's where you're mistaken. Clark's impact extends far beyond the court. Shannon Sharpe highlighted something major. Clark's popularity is soaring. Jersey sales are through the roof, and arenas are packed wherever she plays. It's as if she's single-handedly transforming the landscape of women's basketball.
Obviously, it's annoying because there were way too many Caitlin fans in our but it just kudos because it's amazing to see so many people in women's basketball jerseys. It's amazing to see the excitement and the joy that comes out of that. So although I feel like our Dallas fans could have done better, I had mixed feelings, obviously, seeing all the Caitlin jerseys in our home, but it's an amazing sign for women's basketball, and it's just great how far we've come, and it's just fun. Yeah, it's good.
That's live.
She gets it.
But not everyone is on board with Clark's rising star. Satou Sabally, another player in the league, has mixed feelings. While she's excited about the growth of women's basketball, there's an underlying tension, as if Clark's success is prompting some tough questions about the future of the sport and how it's evolving.
During the game, Nancy Lieberman, one of the pioneers, one of the great female basketball players of all time, you're going to make these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger, like MJ. We shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
She definitely gets it. Clark isn't just shifting perceptions of women's basketball. She's redefining women's sports as a whole. Think about it. When was the last time a female athlete generated this much buzz? Clark is proving that women's sports can be just as thrilling, competitive, and deserving of attention as men's.
I said the same thing. Just like Tiger. They said the same thing about Tiger. This ain't the amateurs. This ain't college.
Right.
You can't run rough shut off with these guys.
Let's be real for a moment. This isn't just about one player. Clark's success is casting a spotlight on the entire league. We're seeing more fans, increased attention, and growing respect. A true domino effect unfolding before our eyes. You've noticed the packed arenas and skyrocketing jersey sales, but imagine a future where WNBA stars are household names, earning millions like their male counterparts. Shannon Sharpe doesn't just see this as possible. He believes it's inevitable and happening sooner than we think. His vision for women's basketball is revolutionary. Sharpe isn't talking about modest growth. He's envisioning a future where female athletes stand alongside the biggest names in sports history, with earnings comparable to legends like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. Can you even fathom that?
Won a $25 million tournament today, the FedEx Cup. $25 million, made $62 million, thanks to Tiger. Look at the money MJ got. It wasn't nobody, a whole lot of people doing those shoes before MJ. Right. Don't let nobody fool you now. They had a few guys, but they wasn't making the money like they're making now.
Here's the kicker. This isn't some distant dream. It's already starting to unfold. Sharpe's exact words. You're going to make these women multimillionaires one day, just like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. He's not speculating or suggesting. It's a firm prediction. When a sports icon like Shannon Sharpe makes a statement like that, you can bet people are paying attention.
Fathers on the back. All we can do is say our appreciation. We understand where this game and the guys, I'm talking about football now. Right. The guys that helped establish this, that built this, we get it. But these young guys coming along now, ain't nobody thinking about, ain't talking about, well, man, Elway was just as good, but he ain't getting no love like this. Marino ain't getting no, they got love like that when they play.
Supporting women's basketball means more excitement, more opportunities, and a richer experience for all. So how will you step up and support women's basketball?